On Saturday, November 11th, 2017, 99 years will have passed since the official end of World War I. At the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, 1918, a formal declaration of peace was made between former warring nations. The other countries throughout the world mark November 11th as a day to celebrate the Great War's end and refer to the anniversary as Armistice Day or Remembrance Day. The United States shares in those sentiments, but also uses the day to honor all veterans who have served in the United States Armed Forces. On this Veterans Day, we honor 3 veterans at Liberty High School: Head Principal Ed Nelson, Liberty School Resource Officer Scott Young, and Daytime Custodian Luther Morris.
Well, Mr. Nelson, to start the conversation, first of all, I want to, thank you for your service.
Yeah, appreciate that.
It's an honor to be able to sit across from you and speak to you.
Thank you.
So I want to start off with just a question. What inspired you to join the military?
Yeah, so I graduated high school in 1988, and I really wasn't ready to go to college. I come from a big family. I've got 12 brothers and sisters, and so it was just time for me to leave the house, just because it was a crowded place. And both of my grandfathers were in World War II and had served, and so joining the Army seemed like an opportunity to potentially travel and then also go overseas, and so I was excited to do that.
When I graduated from high school, I wanted to go to college, but I also wanted to break from school. So I figured the military was a perfect fit. I have family members that served in the military, so it was kind of a family affair type of deal, how I got involved in the military.
When I was in my hometown, a couple of my friends joined the military, and one day I was on my job, and one of the guys I worked with was a combat veteran during Vietnam. And he was telling me his stories and stuff like that, and one day I said, I want that challenge. And then I said, okay, all right, how can I do this? So I went, talked to a Marine Corps recruiter and see what he had to offer. And he basically gave me a chance to enlist in the military. I had already qualified for the military through the ASVAB and stuff like that. So all he had to do was look at my record, see that I was qualified for the military, and he told me a little bit about the military. But my biggest reason for joining was my friends was already in the military, and I just wanted a chance to, I wanted a challenge and basically just see the world.
Can you describe your role in the military?
Yeah, so initially when I went into the military, I went into basic training at Fort Knox, and I was, my job was an M1A1 tanker, so I was on tanks. We did that training in Fort Knox, Kentucky, and then when I got out of basic training in AIT, I went over to Germany, and I got to Germany in 1988, and at that point in time, I was on the East German and Czechoslovakian Border Patrol. And so essentially what you had is you had the Soviet Union and that Soviet bloc of countries. We as Americans were there in Germany to protect the West German citizens. And then I was actually there when the wall came down. And so I was there to be able to experience the reunification of Germany and all those people streaming across the border from East Germany and Czechoslovakia. So it was a pretty interesting time.
I was in the security forces, basically. It'd be like the law enforcement side in the military police. My duties were, I guarded aircraft, communications, and weapon storage facilities. That was my job.
Well, basically when I went in the military, they gave me the job as a combat photographer. So I went to school for combat photography. And, for the first, I want to say the first 15 years of my military career, I did combat photography. I did investigations, forensic photography. I did training, operations, and I also did, did a lot of events, ceremonies, and stuff like that.
Do you have any advice for anybody that's considering going into the military?
Well, if there is a student here at Liberty that's interested in joining the military, I would tell them, don't join the military as an open enlistee. Basically, that means is that the military will choose a job for you. I would tell them to secure a career field that they're interested in. That's going to make your time in the military go so much better. You also can, take advantage of the travel benefits. I mean, you could have a paid vacation in Europe for 4 or 5 years. It all depends on what your specialty is. Also, I would like to see each enlistee that goes into the military take full advantage of the educational benefits. I've seen plenty of guys that will put their time in and never collect on that benefit. It's huge.
As I was going through my military career, I had, mentors, when I first started. Then I became a mentor myself. Then I realized, man, everything that they taught me, I get to now teach other young men and young ladies.
So as a veteran, is there a particular type of familiarity that you have with other veterans?
Well, it's kind of a camaraderie. It's a brotherhood. It's kind of hard to explain as far as it's like you're in a special club. Not a whole lot of people can say I served, it's I wouldn't say there's a secret handshake or anything like that, but there is some pride to saying I am a veteran.
In your role as a drill sergeant, how does that help you? How do you think it's helped you as your principal at Liberty High School?
Well, this is what I believe, to a certain extent. One of the things I think is most important is the safety of students, and as a drill sergeant and as a member of the service, it's important for me to keep the kids at Liberty High School safe. And so I believe I know how to do that. And so that would be one reason why it's helpful, that experience as a drill sergeant.
All right, so I just want to thank you for coming here for the interview and thank you for your service.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for your time today. Thank you for agreeing to this interview and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you for taking the ultimate sacrifice of bravery just so we can live freely.
Thank you for your service.
It is with great pleasure that I am able to stand here and thank you for the time that you have given, personal and family time, for our country.
Thank you for your example of leadership to our LHS family.
Thank you for putting your life at risk so ours isn't.
I want to say thanks to all you veterans that have helped defend this country, lay your lives on the line, and make America the place it is for everybody to do the things they want to do and make the choices they want to do, even if we don't all agree.